Cooper Kupp has been informed by the Los Angeles Rams that he will be getting traded this coming offseason. Cooper Kupp, the second pick in Sean McVay's tenure, while being with the Rams, he also was Super Bowl MVP in 2021. He also holds the record for most scrimmage yards by a wide receiver, also holding the record for most postseason receptions with 33. And he's also racked up 7,000 yards while being with the Rams. Now, where would Cooper Kupp go? Essentially, there's a lot of options. I'm sure the Bills might be looking at Cooper Kupp, given that, Amari Cooper hasn't really panned out the way that they, would think so. Shakir, he's been a good little probably number 2, number 3 receiver. Keon Coleman, still young. Curtis Samuel, he's more of like a one-in-play type guy. So I'm sure the Bills are probably going to be looking at this. Some people think Tampa. Some people are speculating that he goes to Tampa, which I don't see that being a problem given that he's played with Baker Mayfield before. But this is kind of crazy. Myles Garrett, Cooper Kupp, already hitting the trade scene. And the free agent process hasn't even hit yet. So I wonder who's going to be next. I think Cooper Kupp is a phenomenal receiver still. Just the Rams sold their soul to get that Super Bowl. And now that they don't have picks for the future, they're trying to get those picks back. Now, they're not going to be able to get those same picks back because they gave up so much for Jalen Ramsey, gave up so much for Von Miller, and they did it. They got their Super Bowl. But here's the problem. Where do you go from here? Is Puka Nacua your future and you're just trying to get another, for sure, number 2, number 3 receiver? What is going to happen with Matthew Stafford? Because I did hear speculations that Matthew Stafford is possibly going to get traded. They said that he wants to play again this year, which I'm not against that. I've always loved Matthew Stafford. I would like to see a little more out of him. He was a couple plays away from possibly beating the Eagles. But it's really wild to see a name like Cooper Kupp come up in the trade block. I don't think I seen this coming. When I saw the news that the Rams are possibly gonna try to shop Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp, I was thinking more like, man, that's kind of crazy. That's really crazy that they would do such a thing, given that Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp won them a Super Bowl together. But I can see why they're doing it, to get some picks back, to worry about the future. I know Matthew Stafford's getting up there in age. I know Cooper Kupp, he's knocking on 30 if he's not 30 already. This is going to be a good free agency. Now, there are going to be winners and losers of this free agency. I think we need to let everything pan out and see where Cooper Kupp and Myles Garrett go. Hopefully they get dealt with in the next week or two. That way we can take some time to take it all in before the offseason comes. But I don't know where Cooper Kupp will go. I honestly don't. There's a couple teams that probably do need some receivers. We all know the Saints ain't got the cap space for it, so that's out of the picture. I don't think he goes to the Titans. I don't think that they would want to go with the Titans. I'm not thinking he goes to the Browns. If he goes to the Browns, that would look really weird. Cooper Kupp on the Browns. He might. Hey, call me crazy, but one of the teams that really need a weapon and that should try to go for Cooper Kupp is the Carolina Panthers. Now, that would save them from having to draft somebody, wide receiver wise, and they can focus on defense and they can focus on the O line for Bryce Young, which that would help. I think they should try to trade their first round pick for Cooper Kupp. A first this year and let's say a third round pick next year. I think you guys can get Cooper Kupp. We'll just have to see, but my thoughts, I hope he goes to Carolina to help out Bryce Young. Like I said, I don't think he goes to Tennessee. Don't think he goes to the Chiefs. Don't think he goes to the Eagles. I don't think he'll go to the Falcons. Washington definitely needs another number one, number two receiver. There's speculations that we might get Myles Garrett. We have, the highest odds of getting Myles Garrett. But then we need another receiver on top of Terry McLaurin. So I would sign back Olamide Zaccheaus, and I would go after Cooper Kupp or T. Higgins. Now, some people are saying we should get Chris Godwin, but there's a couple of teams that he can go to. He's not going to go to Dallas. He's not going to go to the Giants. Like I said, he's not going to go to the Falcons or the Browns. Or I don't even think he goes to Tennessee. Or the Saints. Or possibly he might go to the Bucs. Possibly. Now, if he was to somehow, some way team up with the Ravens or the Bengals, I would be shocked and I'd be scared for the league. But I'm more thinking of teams that actually need a receiver versus him just going to an already stacked team. We'll see. We shall see.